Good afternoon, sir. A very warm welcome. Always a pleasure to host you.
Very good afternoon, sir, and a very good afternoon to everybody present here today.
A very good afternoon to all of you. We have amongst us a very well-known personality and somebody who is very relevant to the current times that we are going ahead. Dr. Ananth Prabhu, a very warm welcome and greetings that you have joined us for the session today, sir. We titled this series of sessions as called Knowing the Real, Doing the Right. And that is for all the interview aspirants targeted and for the general audience in for all aspirants for civil services preparing for the exam. But we all agree and believe that the idea of cybersecurity, cyber safety is something that's extremely relevant to every single citizen in the country today with what we are going around as such. Yesterday, in fact, the message that we titled, we said you're under digital arrest. So probably 5 years before, we did not know the concept of digital arrest, and today it's become a common man's lingo. So with that few words, understanding, we are very happy to share that Dr. Ananth Prabhu has both practical and theoretical experience in the field. He's been a very well-known face. He's been training across the country, and he's been having sessions across the world, especially associated with the Karnataka Police Academy, Judicial Academy, and also a professor at an engineering college in Mysore, in Mangalore. I'm sorry about that. And somebody who has had very wide arena of experience in which he's been a columnist, he's authored multiple books, continuously is out in giving sessions to ensure the youngsters have required experience and also awareness about this field to it. Most of the aspirants, sir, who are attending today are those who are giving their interviews, personality test for the civil services exam. Considering that there is a lot of importance of these issues, definitely they will face questions. I'm sure all of you are aware or that in the last 2 weeks, most of our caller tunes got changed into that this is how you may be spammed in, so be careful about that. So definitely we are expecting questions in the upcoming personality test regarding this. The session is over to you, sir, and students can have a good interaction after the session. And most of them have their interview scheduled in the next 1 or 2 months, so they will also be eager to ask some questions and clarify in terms of how do we answer that. So over to you, sir. Thank you so much once again for joining us, and we wish to host you here in the academy very soon on availability, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm glad that you have cleared the prelims and the mains and now all set to give your interview. A quick question to everybody. Have you received the PDF? If yes, in the comment section, I would like to see yes, or you can just raise your hands. Have you received the PDF? Because I want you to have the PDF with you before I, or not received.
I'll share it, sir. We'll share it in the group itself right away.
Yeah, please share it right away, sir, so that I'll be going. I've made a list of 25 questions so that I'll be discussing each of them. Okay. All right. So let's begin with the first question. So 2-3 things you need to understand. Number one, when you are sitting there for the interview, for the personality test and the final interview, the people there are interviewing for your civil service exam and not for your Indian engineering services exam. So try to understand the difference. So when we talk about Indian engineering services, that is IES exams, then they would expect a very technical response from your end. Okay. So when a question is asked to you with regard to technology, you can't just give a vague answer and just tell them the story about it. You will have to technically define things. But when it comes to civil services, you can give them a gist, an overall understanding about the topic, and also make them understand that you know the topic. So you don't have to get too technical into any of the answers. And to write a civil service exam, you don't have to be an engineer. So that is the first thing. You can have any degree. So with that having said, you are expected to know the answer and not the technical aspect. So the first question you could expect is, what do you understand by cybersecurity and why is it crucial in today's digital age? Okay. Now this question is specifically asked because they want to know that the most relevant topic right now in the world is cybersecurity, undeniable. Okay, because even the wars are won by using technology only. Even the businesses grow because of technology. Even your money and your crypto and everything is there in technology itself. So technology is the most important aspect. So when they ask you this question, the one thing that it would encompass is the recently enacted DPDP Act. Okay, so this is very, very important because this is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. It encompasses that. So when they ask you this question, I've written the 7 points there for you to understand. Make sure that more than the personal safety and the security, you're going to touch upon the national safety and security. Okay, so whenever you're answering, nation first, remember. Okay, so this is how your answer has to evolve. So you need to say India as a nation has to be protected. All the critical infrastructure, the digital infrastructure, everything has to be protected. Therefore, cyber security. And you need to tell all our banking systems, educational institutions, the data. And when you talk about data, you can tell in order to secure the data, just like how most of the developed nations have got the Data Protection Act, even our country has got Data Protection Act. So this is how you are going to talk. Okay, and then you will also mention about the AI, because now they would expect all the answers to circle around AI, quantum, blockchain, cyber security, and data analytics. Okay, so data science. So these are the 5 things. These are the buzzwords. So your questions will definitely have these things. So make sure that you answer the first question very elaborately by considering nation as the first option. Second, what are the different types of data, and also the DPDP Act. Now understand that when we talk about data, there are 5 types of data. So the first one is your personal data. So this will have all your name, your date of birth, your gender, and things like that. Okay. The second one is called sensitive personal data. Now this will have certain details like probably your health records, your sexual orientation. It can have your political opinions. All these things are sensitive personal data. Third one is non-personal data. It could be about the weather information. It could be about anything, but nothing to do with your personal data. So this is called as non-personal data. Okay, and it could also have some statistical data. It could have people living in the region. So that is how you are identified. So non-personal data. Okay, the fourth one is the critical data. So this is about the national security. This is about the economy. This is about the nuclear details. And the last one, the fifth one, is called as your public data. Okay, so the data that is usually published by the government. So these are the 5 types of data. So you need to know when a question like data is asked, data does not mean information. Data basically comprises of 5 things. Now those 5 things have been very clearly mentioned over here. Okay, and when it comes to DPDP, they have segregated data in 4 types. So personal data, then you also have exemptions for certain data, like data processed for lawful purposes by the government. So that is another. Third one is children's data, and the fourth one is sensitive data. Okay, so these are the 4 things when it comes to data. So I have also mentioned the key takeaway there. You can read it later on, or if you have any doubts later, you can just ask. The third question is explain the cyber ecosystem of India and the government bodies associated. So they may ask you, how is the cyber infrastructure protected in India? What are the different bodies, different associated ecosystem with it? So you need to understand the main thing in India when it comes to cyber ecosystem. There are basically 5 things. Okay, so the first one is policies and framework. So in 2013, they drafted something called as the National Cyber Security Policy. It's become outdated now, but still that is there. National Cyber Security Policy 2013. And then the laws that govern the cyberspace is the IT Act, which came into existence in 2000. So Information Technology Act, we call it. So this is about policies and framework. Second, the critical infrastructure protection. So for that, we have something called as the National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, NCIIPC. Okay, so it takes care of all the critical infrastructure of our country. Third one is the cybercrime investigation. Okay, the fourth one is the capacity building. Fifth one is the public-private partnership. Now, in that, the government bodies are first the Ministry of IT, okay, called MeitY. Then you have a body called as CERTIN, which stands for Computer Emergency Response Team in. So if you visit that website, all of you, brilliant work they're doing. What they do is they identify any app, any software, any infrastructure that is vulnerable, and they put it there so that people using that know that there is some issue with that. Either you can fix it or you can just remove it off. So CERT, it is called CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team of India, called CERTIN. Okay. Then, as I said that time, NCIIPC. Then the Home Ministry has got something called as the Cybercrime Coordination Center, I4C it is called. Okay. So I4C is the Cybercrime Coordination Center. So that is there. Then you have the Data Protection Board. Recently, the Data Protection Act has come into force, where they said that there should be a body which ensures that all the data of our country is protected, for which it is called Data Protection Board of India, DPBI. Okay. Then you have Defense Cyber Agency, which takes care of the cyber security of all the defense forces, Army, Air Force, Navy. Then you have National Cyber Security Coordinator, NCSC. Then CBI also has got its own cybercrime wing, which is the cybercrime cell of the CBI. Then every state has got one cyber department. In fact, Karnataka is one of those few states in the entire country where we have a DGP, that is the Director General of Police, exclusively for cybercrime. And you have the last one is the National Informatics Center, NIC. So any government employee, if you see anyone, their email ID will be at nic.gov.in. Okay, so National Informatics Center. So all the e-governance and everything is taken care by NIC. So these are the things which the entire ecosystem. So if a question is asked to you about the cyber ecosystem, how is the cyber ecosystem of India? You know what to answer, because these 10 things, if you can tell them in general, they would understand it, and you would get full marks if you answer all of them. Okay. Then the next question that is asked would be, which are the laws concerned for cyberspace in India? Okay, for the cyber crimes and cyberspace. So as I said that time, IT Act, Information Technology Act, there are certain sections in that, you can just have a look. So first is the IT Act. Then earlier we had the IPC, which has now become BNS. So IPC never had anything related to cybercrime. Nothing was there, okay, related to cybercrime. Crime was there and it was connected to cyber. Okay. But when it comes to BNS, there are certain sections specifically for cybercrime. Like, for example, so they may ask you this question. In BNS, which are those sections which are related to cybercrime? So section 379, punishment for data theft. 420, cheating and fraud. Okay, including phishing and online scams. Okay, so that is there. Then 468, 471, forgery for the purpose of cheating digital documents, you can see. And then 499 and 500, defamation. So defamation, which was not there for cyber, of course, there was the section 66 A, which was struck down by the Honorable Supreme Court, which dealt with the offensive messages via communication services, 66A. So they may ask you a question, why was 66A? Because it was considered as a draconian law. Okay. So, but now we have But then what happened? Once that was struck down, anybody can put on social media, Ananth Prabhu is an idiot. Okay, and I don't have any law which can say that. Of course, defamation I can put. But then if they put anything derogatory and all that, it was becoming very difficult which section to apply. So with the BNS now, that problem is solved. Okay. Then the another law, third law, which is Digital Personal Data Protection, DPDP. Okay. That law is there, which came in 2023. Okay. Then BSA. Earlier we had Indian Evidence Act. Now we have BSA, which is Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. Okay. Now in this, what we do is there is one very important letter which has to be given, which is called as Section 65B. So what it does is whenever an electronic record is submitted to the Honorable Court, so we have to give a declaration in 65B telling that I have used it, I was the owner of the computer, or I was the owner of that. So that who writes that is called as the section is 65B. So this is with BSA. So any cybercrime related complaint should have section 65B from BSA. And then the fifth one, Companies Act 2013 also has got a little bit about cybercrime. So these are the 5 things which are there with regard to cyberspace. Okay. So this is, so if a question is asked to you, which are the laws? Don't simply say IT Act. IT Act is one. Okay. But along with that, you should say in BNS also new sections have come. In BSA also it is there. DPDP also it is there. Also in the Companies Act it is there. So when you give a holistic answer like this, you can expect more marks. Because a lot of people tell me, sir, I told the correct answer, but still I did not get the marks. What is the reason? Of course, that is because you have only touched the topic, but you have not, traversed around the periphery. So that also you need to do. Next one. So we will go to the 5th question. Which are the different domains in cybersecurity? So when we talk about cybersecurity, we only think hacking. No, hacking is just one. Okay. Now there are many. First one is called network security. Second, application. So any application you have, security of that. Third, endpoint. Endpoint means any device that you use is called endpoint. It could be a laptop, desktop, mobile phone, smartwatch. All these are endpoints. So securing those devices. Fourth, cloud security. Fifth, data security. Sixth, identity and access management. See, for example, there is an organization. Now, an employee will be given access only to the place where he works. That's it. It will not be like he can go anywhere and sit even in the chairman's chamber. Correct? So what are those areas that he can access? This is called as IAM. Very, very important. And 7th one is operation security. 8th one is incident response and management. In case if some hacking happens, some incident happens, how to respond to it and how to manage it. 9th one, threat intelligence, that is proactive. So every action we can have it either proactive, that is before something happens, we are ready, or reactive. Once it happens, what to do. So this is called as threat intelligent, proactive. And the last one is critical infrastructure security. So critical infrastructure usually are electric grids, because if you see worldwide, most of the cyber attacks are happening at 2 places. One is the electric grids, where the entire power supply of the nation is only gone, okay, of a particular city or a state, it's gone. So they just hack into it and no current, okay, no power, first. Or second, like Stuxnet, it attacks the nuclear facilities. Okay, so this is even more dangerous. So without electricity, somehow you can live. But if the nuclear power reactor blasts, then it's going to be horrible. So that is the 10th point. 11th is cryptography. Cryptography is plain text, whatever we talk, encrypting it. So we call this as cryptography. And then GRC, which is governance, risk and compliance. Cyber forensics. So once cybercrime happens, the investigation part, forensics, then physical security. So these are the topics. Okay. Now, when we talk about these topics, one question that could be asked to you is, how could you protect yourself? Which is the 6th question. How can you protect yourself from the cyber crimes? looks very basic. Okay, question looks very basic. We can always say use good passwords and all. No. So I have defined it. Okay, what to do. So first is endpoint security. So when you're talking, instead of using the words like my device, you can use the words like endpoint security. So when you use these technical terms, your answer looks more polished. It gets more weightage. So every points like this will have weightage. See, what will happen is, imagine the person before you was me, okay, and I have given an answer like this. So I have set the bar high now. Okay. So if you give vague answers, then definitely you will be getting less marks. So you never know who is the person who has come before you and given the answers. Also, those people sitting there are not interviewing for the first time. They've already interviewed for the last 10, 15 years. So they've seen bunch of candidates, loads of candidates who give polished answers. So they already have a bar set telling that, okay, answer should be like this. So you have to make sure that when you use those terminologies, you don't use simple terms, but you use the proper technical terms. Next, protection of online identity by using privacy settings. Third, by safeguarding financial transactions. Okay, so HTTPS, then two-factor authentication, all these things. Fourth, securing our Wi-Fi networks. Fifth, making sure that we have proper backup so that in case if our system gets hacked, we still have the data with us. Sixth is by using proper security tools. Seventh is to be aware about the cyber attacks. Eighth is to protect not just us, but also our family and children. Ninth, to practice safe communication. And the 10th one is to report and respond to cyber crime. So these are the important points that you need to tell. If you simply say by using good passwords and logging out, no. So make sure that you give detailed answers so that you get more marks for the questions that are asked. Next one. Now, this is a very tricky question. They may ask, what India lacks in cyber domain compared to the world? Okay. Lot of things India is lacking, no doubt on that. But when you are answering, if you demean our country and talk, you will get less marks. You can't keep telling, no, India doesn't have anything. What is India? India has to learn from Singapore. No. Don't answer that way. So first, whenever such questions are asked, you need to always praise. You need to see the way of giving feedback is first give the positives and then suggest which are the ways to improve. Directly, if you tell what is not right, then it may not be taken in the right way. So make sure that you mention about we have DPDP, we have the IT Act, we have Digital India, everything is there in place. But still, if these are the things that could be improved or improvised, we will be the world leader. So you speak that way. So what you do is, first thing we lack is insufficient workforce. No, if you just take Google and type what is the shortage of cybersecurity workforce in India or world, you will see so many lakhs of people are needed. Not there, trained people are not there. Second, if you see the best of the infrastructure when it comes to firewalls, when it comes to networks, when it comes to antivirus, when it comes to software, India's nothing is there. Nothing. So limited R&D and indigenous technology. Most of the technology that we have is not from India. So we don't know where the data goes. We don't know how much they're actually going to protect us. So that is one thing that you need to tell. You need to tell the Make in India has to come for cyber security. Mobile phone. See, we use Samsung, we use Apple. Where is Make in India is different. Made in India is different. Okay, we need made in India products. Make in India is some foreign product coming here and they're doing it here, manufacturing in India. No, we want an Indian product. Indian product when it comes to antivirus. Where is the antivirus like that? Yes, mKavach is there. How many of them are using? Is it as good as Kaspersky or Avast or ESET Nord 32 or Microsoft Defender? No. So how to make it better? So don't we have the capability? Of course we do. But what is lacking? That you need to tell. Next one. Gaps in the cybersecurity infrastructure, then we don't have a proper comprehensive policy. Every time something or the other keeps coming, and insufficient awareness. Because of this, people are losing lakhs and lakhs. Then the public-private collaboration is very weak. and people don't invest on cybersecurity, so investment is relatively low, and data protection framework is not as good as the ones in the foreign, and our cyber diplomacy is not up to the mark. So for this, the question will come called MLAT. So India has got MLAT, I think, with about 45 countries. MLAT stands for Mutual Legal Agreement Treaty. So here what happens is, tomorrow, if somebody is sitting in a country where India is MLAT and commits a crime, then with that country, we can ask for the data, get the data, we can get him extradited, and we can get him arrested. But if the person is sitting in a country where India doesn't have an MLAT, it becomes difficult. So that country may not share the data at all. So in that case, the problem is okay. Then fragmented incident response system. Most of the law enforcement agencies also, sometimes if they're not trained properly, what happens is when a cybercrime happens, they may not take the proper data. They may not properly see to it that everything is captured, and because of that, we may miss out on a lot of leads. And 12th is cybersecurity talent drain. So people know that if you're good at something, leave India and go to some other country and work there. So we have to ensure that they stay back. 8th question. Which are the 5 global cyber laws and their important policies? Now, why is this asked is for them to understand how well you are equipped with the knowledge of what is happening globally. So first point you need to talk is GDPR, the best in the world. Okay, so it's from the European Union, called General Data Protection Regulation. This is encompassing all the 28 or 30 countries that come under the European Union. So GDPR, first one. Second, the law of United States, which is called as Cyber Security Information Sharing Act. Third one, the Data Protection Act of UK. Fourth one, Cyber Security Act of Singapore. Fifth one, Personal Information Protection Law of China. So what are the things that they have and everything I've mentioned? Go through it so that you'll understand why it is better, especially when it comes to data protection. Okay. If you just put a Google search, Indian Aadhaar database, 83 crore Indians Aadhaar database seems to be leaked. That is what the data says. And on Telegram or other dark web, you can download those records also. But is it possible for you to do it in a country like US? I doubt. So why? Because the data has been protected properly. Don't answer like this in the exam, but this is for you to know so that when you answer, you encompass these points and you talk it in a very positive way. Next one. Which are the devices and software used in cybersecurity? Now, this looks like a very lame question that is asked, but it is asked to understand how much you know about things. Okay, so first is, when you have a house, you have a compound wall, right? So the compound wall is called the firewall. Who can come in, who can't go out. Okay, so first one, firewall. Second one, antivirus. Okay, you know what it does. Third one, intrusion detection system. Now, what does this do? Once an intrusion has happened, somebody has come in, detecting, very easy. Next is intrusion preventing system, making sure that intrusion doesn't happen. So this is proactive. Intrusion detection system is reactive. Okay. Now you may say, if prevention is there, why we need detection? Of course, prevention is good, but 100% prevention, what is there? Maybe 99.99, and the 0.01% somebody enters, then you will need intrusion detection system. Fifth one, VPN, virtual private networks. Next, encryption software. Then security information and event management. So this is very, very important because it sees what are those various incidents that has happened in your organization. Then endpoint detection and response, your devices. 9th is two-factor authentication, and the 10th one is network monitoring tools. So this much you need to tell. So what are the devices used in cybersecurity? If you simply say firewall and antivirus, no marks. So you have to tell all these things. So this way, it will look like you understand the entire gamut of things. Next one. So what are the measures to ensure cyber security in a government organization? So this is a very tricky question, because these are usually the areas where cybersecurity takes a backseat. So please say better government policies, then better access control. I was surprised to see 2-3 days back in Mangalore, in one of the commissioner's office, somebody just goes in, takes the record and tampers it and keeps it back. I mean, what state of affairs is this? I don't know. So we need to make sure that such things don't happen. Secure the network infrastructure, regular data encryption, employee training, incident response and disaster recovery, and implement security monitoring and auditing. Then secure software development. Secure software development is very important, because recently that Kaveri portal, which is used for land registration, it did not have proper security. So whenever people went there for giving their thumb for land registration, so somebody was sitting somewhere and downloading all the fingerprints. In India, there is something called as the Aadhaar-enabled payment system, where if I have your fingerprint and your Aadhaar number, I told you 83 crore Indians database is there. So I have the Aadhaar number and I have your fingerprint. So with these two things, I can withdraw 10,000 rupees from your account. No password, no PIN, no OTP, nothing is needed. Okay, I don't need anything of yours. All I need is your Aadhaar number, and your Aadhaar number is already there, and your fingerprint from Kaveri portal. I got it. But thankfully, they fixed the Kaveri portal now. So that is how it is. Okay. Next one is data backup and protection. This is very important, because you know that whenever in Lokayukta raid or something is going to happen, what they do is they put fire to that office, complete fire, and they say, Benki tagi oitu, yalla. So if there was a proper backup, even in Benki tagi, no problem. We still have something in the cloud. We can just download it. So this is important, data backup and protection, and collaboration with external stakeholders. So this is how it is. 10th question. What is blockchain? Now, you can definitely expect questions on this, because they want to know how updated you are. So blockchain is basically decentralized. First, our server is centralized. Blockchain is decentralized. That means no single entity, it is distributed. It's a distributed ledger system that securely records transactions in a tamper-proof way. You cannot tamper. In this world, you cannot tamper blockchain at all. So therefore, most of the countries have put their records in blockchain because of decentralization, because of transparency, immutability. That means you can change it, and secure. So therefore, blockchain, different types of blockchains are there. So public blockchain is there, private blockchain is there, consortium, hybrid, side chains, different types are there. So they may ask you a question, what are the different types of blockchain? In that case, you'll have to tell this. But what they will ask you is, why blockchain? So that time, tell those 5 points. Okay. Next one. Which are the 10 most common cyber attacks? May ask or may not ask. If that person is old school, may ask this question to you, which is, which are the 10 most common cyber attacks? So that time you tell phishing, ransomware, malware, denial of service, then SQL injection. SQL injection means a website is there, the URL where it is there, or where the contact forms are there. In that you put the SQL queries. We call them as SQL. So you put those SQL queries. What will happen is you can run those scripts from the front end itself. So we call this as SQL injection. Then you have man in the middle attack. When two people are talking, somebody comes in the between and snipe. What they do is they try to read the content that is being shared. Then cross-site scripting, credential stuffing, insider threats, and drive-by download. So these are the common cyber crimes which are there. Now, 12th, a very interesting question is how AI enhances cybersecurity. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you have all used ChatGPT. I've also used ChatGPT. Even this PDF has been downloaded majoritarily by ChatGPT only. So I was giving points and I was asking it to enhance it. Say, you can't completely depend upon ChatGPT for now, because it gives a lot of errors. So you need to know what exactly you're asking. So, so first thing what AI does is proactive behavior, threat detection. Okay, first one, predictive analysis, then automated incident response. So incident happens, automates it. You don't have to sit there and do the next step. Behavioral analysis. So do you know that AI is so intelligent? If I give you my password, when you enter my password, it knows that Ananth Prabhu is not entering the password. So that level of brilliance it has, because it knows how fast I type. When I'm typing 2-3 keys, what is the speed difference between those? Everything it knows. So this is also done. And phishing detection, enhanced encryption, and better security operations center. So this is about AI. Okay. So the next is this question definitely could be asked to you is, what are deep fakes? Okay, especially after that Rashmika Mandana's episode happened and Narendra Modi ji came on TV and spoke about deep fakes and all. So deep fake is basically, I have a picture of yours. I use a technology called as GAN, G-A-N, which is Generative Adversarial Network. And what I do is, from that image, I can create a video. From your voice sample, I can whatever I type, it will come in your voice. Or if I have one photo of yours, I can create multiple photos of yours. So these are called synthetic images, which are called as deep fakes. Now, this has become a major threat because you may receive a video call from your father, but actually it is not your father, it is a deep fake. So cyber criminals are overly relying on deepfake technologies. For example, if they have a photo of yours, they can create a video. There's a website called deepfakesweb.com. You go there, you upload anybody's photo, you select which video you want, and the video of theirs is created. So such things can happen. So this is called as deep fakes. So when we are talking about AI, when we're talking about deep fakes, there has to be a proper regulation. India still doesn't have proper regulation for AI and deep fakes. Okay, that is very, very important. Then AI transparency is needed. AI detection and countermeasures are needed. Otherwise, AI can overturn and it can completely finish off the population. Then, so this is how it is. Next point is, what do you think are the key challenges in implementing cyber security policies in India? Now, this definitely is an important question because of the digital divide. So whatever said and done, 1.5 billion population, 1 billion people are using internet and mobile phones, but 0.5 billion are not using. So there is a divide, okay? And out of the 1 billion who are using, I think hardly about 700 or 800 million know what they're doing. Another 300 don't know what they're doing. So that is another problem. So rapid technological growth, lack of skilled workforce, then fragmented legal infrastructure and framework, data privacy concerns. So you see, most of the apps that you're using, whenever you install the app, it tells you it needs your gallery permission, contact permission, GPS permission, SMS permission, every permission it is asking. In fact, a calculator app wants my camera access. Why? For what? Because they want your data. Data is the new oil, and they are minting money. So whenever a product is free, please understand, you are the product. That is not the product. So basically, they're taking your data. So these are some of the reasons why the problem is with the AI. Okay. The 15th question is, how would you respond to a scenario where a government website is hacked and sensitive data is compromised? Now, this question is asked to see if you're an IAS or if you are in charge of some organization, and that government organization, the website is hacked. So first thing, what you need to do is identification of the breach. Second, containment. Third, eradication. So this is the immediate thing that you need to be doing. Second, you need to tell the forensic body. You need to see how much data is gone. You need to tell the law enforcement agencies, and you need to collaborate with third-party experts. Third point is communication and public relations. That is, internally communicate and tell people. Next, tell all your stakeholders external communication, and also notify the affected parties. This is what you need to do. Last one is damage and remediation. So recover of the data, then strengthening the security, see where the attack happened and fix it, patch the vulnerabilities, and improve the infrastructure. And then you have legal and long-term measures to be taken. So these are the points that you need to tell it's not that attack happened, I will call the cyber team and they will look after it. No. So you have to show that you know what has to be done. Of course, it will be done by them, but you are aware what needs to be done. So this is very important. 16th question is, how would you propose to handle a situation where a government official's personal device is compromised? Now, this is very easy, okay? Imagine I'm sitting next to you. I know your WhatsApp number. I take my phone. I uninstall my WhatsApp. I reinstall WhatsApp. WhatsApp will ask me for my mobile number. I will not put my mobile number. I'll put yours. So when I put yours, the OTP comes to your phone and I have eyes. I can see those OTP. I will take that 6-digit number and put it on my phone. Done. After that, you can't use WhatsApp. I will be able to use. Of course, if I have enabled two-factor authentication, it will ask me for the password, but most of you have not done. I know that. So because of that, what will happen? Very easy for me to access. Now, what I will do is, imagine that you are an IAS officer. I got access of yours. Now I'll send messages to everybody telling them, I urgently need, my Google Pay is blocked. Can you put 5,000 to this account, this account? Everybody will put, because IAS officer is asking. Because messages come from IAS officer's number only, not from somebody's number who has used your DP. No, this is your number only. So this is what will happen. So first thing, immediate isolation and containment. Second, device assessment. Identify what went wrong. Third, eradication of the malware. Fourth, forensic analysis to find out who put that malware. Fifth one, the legal and regulatory framework. This has to be told. And sixth one is communication and public awareness. Last one is long-term security improvement. So if you see these points with what has happened, same points, okay? Only thing is the way in which you tell is different. Otherwise, everything remains the same. 17th point. What is the global cybersecurity budget? Very interesting. So, US budget in 2023 was $71 billion. Okay, $71 billion. Europe's budget for 2024 is reaching about 84 billion in 2027. Okay, 84 billion. And Middle East budget, again, very high. But India's budget is only about 2.7 billion, something like that. Okay, that's 21,000 crore is about 2.5 billion. That's all. So that shows how much money has to be actually put in cybersecurity, but the government is not putting. So this is how it is. Next one. 18th point. How should India prepare to handle large-scale cyber attacks? So what everybody could do is just take your phones, all of you. I'm going to share a screen to you. So my screen sharing is started, and I'm going to play threatmap.checkpoint.com. Okay, so this is the website which I want all of you to visit. It's called, see, it's a live cyber threat map, and see the attacks. See, US is attacking itself, Russia is attacking Russia, US is attacking Germany. These are live attacks. Okay, so as on date, like today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 57 lakh attacks have already happened today. Okay, so you can see now. See, US is attacking Nepal, Singapore is attacking Nepal. Okay, and also you can see Netherlands, Slovenia, everybody is attacking. Portugal, Malaysia is attacking Malaysia. France is attacking Israel. So this is happening on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, okay. Next. So that is very interesting. Now, so how should India prepare? So first thing is by strengthening our cybersecurity framework. Second is dedicated cybersecurity units. Unfortunately, India doesn't have a cybersecurity police. National cybersecurity police is not there. Statewide, it is there. We need a national one. Then incorporating AI and advanced technology. And then mock drills should be done. Then skilled workforce development is needed. Public-private partnership and collaboration, global partnership, and yeah, awareness. So these are the things you need to mention how India should this one. So basically, in Netflix, what they've done is they've used one code, it seems, where randomly it switches off a server. So when that server is switched off, the redundant server has to switch on immediately so that people should not know only that the server is off. So that level of technology is used in Netflix. So they're deliberately switching it off just to see how prepared they are when such contingency happens. So therefore, even we need to be prepared. Next one. This you must have seen on WhatsApp, no? Whenever you send a message, end-to-end encrypted messages. So what exactly is end-to-end? End-to-end means the message sent by the sender gets decrypted only at the receiver side, not at the server. So when you're sending an email, Gmail, so it is not end to end. So here what happens, it's called TLS, transport layer security. So basically what happens when you send an email, the mail is encrypted from your side till the server, gets decrypted, Gmail reads it, again encrypts it and sends it to the receiver. So this does not happen in WhatsApp. WhatsApp can't read your messages. It is directly sent. But 2 days back, the WhatsApp owner, who is Mark Zuckerberg, he said that if necessary, CIA can read your end-to-end encrypted messages, which means end-to-end encryption is a joke. So this is what he said 2 days back, okay, that CIA, the America's topmost agency, can read your messages. So this is about end-to-end, but basically end-to-end encryption means from one end to the other end, message is encrypted so that man-in-the-middle attack doesn't happen, and only the receiver is assured that only he has read it, not anybody else. So the next question is, what is cloud computing and what is quantum computing? So cloud computing is similar to normal computing only, but the only thing is on demand. You can enhance your processor, speed, storage, everything on demand. So this is called cloud. Quantum is completely different. So earlier what used to happen is the microprocessor that we have or any electronic devices that we have works on bits, that is 0 and 1. But in quantum, what happens is it behaves in 0, 1, and in between 0 and 1. So because of this, its capability has enhanced, and also it is using certain other features like it has got superposition, entanglement, quantum interference. So because of all these things, it's a different breed altogether. So quantum is going to be the future. The next question, which are the places which have become cybercrime hubs in India? So they may ask you, so of course everybody will say that, Jamtara, that is common. But apart from Jamtara, you should know there is Mewat region, there is Noida and Ghaziabad, Bharatpur, Kolkata. So these are the places, and in each place what they do also have written. Okay, so in Jamtara, basically what they do is fraudulent calls asking for OTP. Then in the Mewat region, unsecured loans. In Noida, tech support teams. In Bharatpur, sending fake emails, lottery winning and all that. Kolkata, ATM skimming. So very easily they have mentioned that. Okay, so the next one is 22nd. Explain how cyber insurance can be helped. So this is a relatively different type of a question which could be asked to you, is how is cyber insurance useful? So we have heard of health insurance, travel insurance, car insurance, and all the other insurance, but we have not heard of cyber insurance. It's already come in India. So it's a very good thing because it covers direct financial loss. And whenever an incident happens, whatever the cost for the response is there, that is also taken care. Third-party liabilities, business interruption, if it happens, that whatever money lost, you can recover. And regulatory fines. See, you know that as per the Data Protection Act, DPDP 2023, if you see the maximum penalty of DPDP, you'll be surprised because even if you murder somebody, that penalty is not there in India. So the penalty is 250 crores. Yes, I'm not joking. 250 crores is the penalty that they have put in case of data leak, in case of Data Protection Act. Now, if some fine like this comes to you and you don't have cyber insurance, you're dead. Okay, so therefore, this is needed. And limitations also are put about cyber insurance. Next one, 23rd. What will be the cyber security and attacks in the near future? Generic question, but asked to see what is your foresightedness, okay? How far you can see. So you need to tell AI-powered cyber security tools will be there, zero trust architecture, quantum resistant. See, quantum is there. So you'll be using quantum resistant, IoT security challenges, and all these technical terms you will be using, okay? Next one is, what are the challenges in enforcing international laws against cybercrime, and how can the global collaboration addresses these issues? So this tries to understand how good you know foreign policy, how well you understand their laws, and how it can be. So you need to understand that cybercrime does not have territorial jurisdiction. So anybody can sit anywhere in the world and commit the crime. So you need to talk about jurisdictional issues. Then what is crime in India may not be a crime there, or what is crime there may not be a crime in India. So that also has to be addressed. The attribution difficulties, dark web is come now, a new thing where encrypted internet, you need a special tool called a Tor browser to access it, and everything is encrypted, leaves no traces, so very difficult. And then also you may have enemy nations, so political and sovereignty issues, all these things come into picture. The last question, which is what is crypto? This also would be asked to you. So you need to tell it's not a fiat currency. So our rupee, dollar, everything is a fiat currency. This is a virtual currency called crypto, which functions by using blockchain. So there is no actual tangible currency. Everything is virtual. And again, demand and supply, highly volatile. So there are about 25,000 cryptos, 15,000 actual cryptos, 10,000 have gone dusted, but 15,000 already there. But like at home, we have this cupboard, for which we tell Godrej. So Godrej like batte to banni. So Godrej. So actually, it's not Godrej. It's a cupboard. It's an almirah. So similarly, for the crypto, we are using the word called Bitcoin. Why? Because the first currency, the cryptocurrency that came into the existence is called as Bitcoin. So therefore, everybody's talking Bitcoin, but they may ask you a question like, name any 5-6 cryptos. So you need to tell Ethereum, Monero, Zcash, USDT, Bitcoin, and lot of things are there. So you can just make a list of 10 to 15 common cryptos, and you can use it. Okay. So yeah, so these are the 25 points that I wanted to discuss with you, and you can go through it once again, and a lot of important points are there in that. Technical terms, as I said, when you're answering, you have to answer with the right technical words and not like a layman, very simple English. No, you need to use these technical terms and explain it to you. Make sure that you convince them, don't confuse them even more with your answers. Keep it very short, concise, crisp, and wait for them to complete the question, because sometimes some people may ask you a question, they may take a long pause, and you may think that the question is done, and then you answer and they ask another very awkward situation. So make sure that the question is done, and ask them if you want, so can I answer, and then you answer the question. Okay. So that's all I had to say. So if you have anything to ask, feel free to ask.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
So recently in my mock interview, I was asked that which ministry has cyber security, coordinates the cyber security in India.
Home Ministry.
So, okay. So I mentioned it is Home Ministry also, MET also, and Defense also has a component.
Yeah.
It is DICA. Yeah. So yeah, I've mentioned all three.
Good.
So
But the answer is actually Home Ministry, because everything comes under the Home Ministry. Okay. And then when it comes to awareness, it comes to METI. Okay. Certain and all that, it comes under the awareness and prevention. But cyber crime as such, that is in the Home Ministry. But what you have said is right, because I have mentioned that, so in the answers also, what are the various other bodies also which are associated with that.
Sir, we have one question in chat box. Like how to prevent cyber crimes.
Yeah, see, the first thing you need to tell is cyber crimes are gender neutral. Okay, so we don't have cyber crimes for men or women. Of course, if it happens to women, it's called cyber crime for women. Otherwise, it's men. So whatever I've told those points, the same thing. But what happens is one thing that can go wrong with women is whenever they're in a relationship, usually they send photos to their husband, not husband, no, yeah, of course, husband and boyfriend, and then after the breakup or after the divorce, there is a possibility that the photos are uploaded on certain sites. So you can always tell that a new body has come called it's called Stop NCII, which stands for Non-Consensual Intimate Images. So if you go to that site and if you can just put that image link wherever it was uploaded, it will be immediately taken off. Okay, so such takedown systems have come, number one. And number two is you can tell in the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, there is a cyber safe girl project which has come where especially to help women stay cyber safe, that project is there, Cyber Safe Girl. Then you can also tell that National Commission for Women also keeps conducting a lot of initiatives like this for creating awareness regarding cybercrime, especially for women. But then the precautions and the preventions are the same as normal as regular cybercrimes. Any other questions, anyone?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My question was regarding, especially considering the rise of social media usage within the teenage population itself. So, what measures can be taken by the population itself to ensure cybersecurity, especially in social media?
Yeah, it's a very relevant question. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. It's a very relevant question that you've asked. See, basically, what happened is in our country in the year 2021, one amendment in the IT Act came, which is called as Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code. Okay. So this was applicable for any company which had more than 50 lakh user base. And see, earlier what used to happen is whenever our police or anybody, law enforcement agents, they request for any data from these social media companies, they were not giving. Now what they did is for content moderation, for code of conduct, for OTT, that is the over the top any provider, and for the protection of the users and as well as for the transparency, they came out with this model which is called as Intermediaries and Digital Media Ethics Code. Okay. Now there, what they have done is they have told that compulsorily there should be 3 people. That is, one is grievance redressal officer. So any grievance happens, he has to make sure that it is redressed. Second is called as compliance officer. Third is called as nodal officer. So the compliance officer's work is to ensure that whenever the government tells this has to be done by all these companies, they have to make sure that their Data Protection Act has come. Everybody should make sure that their entire data is like this, encrypted, sensitive. They have to do it. Okay. Then grievance redressal is you tell there's some issue that is there. So within 48 hours, you should get a response back. But the most important is the nodal officer. So the nodal officer's job is whenever a police officer requests for any data, the nodal officer has to give the data within a stipulated time. So once this came into effect, now it is becoming very easy for the police officers to get the data whenever a cybercrime happens and whenever anything happens. Number one. Number two, there is something called as screen time. So if the parents can install one app on their children's phones, which is called as the Google Family Link, you can mention the screen time, telling that every day, only for 3 hours, my child will be using the phone. So after 3 hours, he will not be able to use only calls and, accepting calls and making calls. Other than that, they can't use for data. Third most important thing is whenever we talk about WhatsApp, see, WhatsApp only 16 years and above can use it. Okay, YouTube or any of these. See, whenever we watch a movie, there is something called as a censor board screen, which comes, which certificate, which says U or UA or A. So similarly, all the apps have got one age, which is called as ESRB ratings, which stands for Entertainment Software Rating Board, which means any app that you see on Play Store or App Store, you can just open it on your Play Store or App Store. You will see, first you will see how many downloads. Second, you will see the ratings of the app, like 4.5 out of 5, like that. Third is the age will be shown. That age is called as ESRB rating. Unfortunately, parents don't see that ESRB rating. Child is 13-year-old. They give an app like Discord or something for the child, which is actually 16 and 18 who has to be using it. So the child uses that and falls into the problem. So majorly, we are also responsible for that. And to avoid people from becoming victims of cyber issues, we need to make a proper monitoring of the screen time, number one. And second is we need to make sure that the children are given better things to do in physical life than what they are actually enjoying it in the digital life. Only when the physical life gets boring, people resort to digital life. So if the physical life is made more interesting, I think we can have it better. So I hope I've answered this. And there's a question in the chat box. What measures have been taken for Aadhaar security, considering Aadhaar 2.0 has to come. Till then, all the data is already there. PAN 2.0 has come. So that's a good thing that they have done for the PAN, already come into force. PAN 2.0. So similarly, Aadhaar 2.0, once it comes, I feel it is better. But otherwise, now. But for now, what you can do with your Aadhaar is you can go to mAadhaar portal or My Aadhaar website, and there is something called as biometric lock. So you can enable it. So once you enable it, what will happen is if somebody tries to use AEPS fraud to withdraw your money, and they give you a fingerprint, or they take that image and they put it, it will not work because you have locked the biometrics. So I think it is more sensible to lock biometrics and make sure that whenever you visit any hotels or any place, don't give your Aadhaar. And third is, wherever possible, don't reprograph, that is photocopy Aadhaar at unknown shops. Only do it at properly known shops, because usually what these reprographic centers, photocopy Xerox shops, what they do is they take a copy and give it to you. After you go, they take another copy, because all these machines have got memory. So after you go also, they can take unlimited printouts, and they sell each photocopy for 500 rupees, because cyber criminals would never buy your the SIM card in their name. They'll buy it in your name only. So what you could also do is you can go to a website called TAFCOP, TAFCOP, and there you can enter your mobile number, OTP comes, put it there. It will tell you, using your Aadhaar card, how many SIM cards have been issued. So these are the only things that you could do to ensure that your Aadhaar is safe.
So that's all we think, sir. We can
no problem. I hope the session was of service to them. Wishing everybody all the very best. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So thank you for your time, sir. With this, dear students, we'll wind up the session on cybersecurity and surveillance. Okay. Once again, on behalf of India for IAS, we thank you, Ananth Prabhu, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.